they damage you, and they cripple you to such an extent that even if you go no contact, still the patterns are there. Yeah, still the triggers are there. Yeah, all of those buttons are installed by them. Yeah, so you keep functioning like your former self, even though you have gone no contact, you have left them, you have changed the city, you have changed the location. Still you keep reacting and behaving the way how you used to do when you were with them. So you have to observe yourself, you have to unlearn things, you have to relearn, reparent your own self, and that's the only way forward. Yeah, so just going no contact is not the solution. There is a lot of work that needs to be done if you really want to grow, evolve, heal. A lot of work is there. It's not easy, it's really painful. Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about the reasons why narcissistic parents are nothing more than emotional dead weights to their children's well-being. And before I get going, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys are updated whenever we put out a new content. So we know who these narcissistic parents are. These narcissistic parents are the narcissists who choose to use their procreation ability to create more slaves supply sources. That's it. They don't start family for altruistic reasons. They are not built for family life. Narcissistic individuals are very self-centered. It's all about I, me, myself. They know it all. Their way is the right way. Extreme sense of entitlement, extreme hunger and craving for attention, admiration. Plus these narcissistic individuals lack empathy. They are unable to express gratitude or remorse, and they have inability to self-reflect. So all of this really makes them horrible parents. Yeah, they are not equipped, or they are not built to be parents. I mean, healthy parents. I mean, parenting by default is healthy. Every parent has their own ups and downs, but parents don't abuse their children. Parents don't exploit their children. Parents don't choose to have children so that the kids can grow up and serve them. Healthy parents don't do that. Yeah, I mean, some people might say this is what parenting is, this is what family life is like, but I don't buy all of that BS. Yeah, parenting by default is a healthy thing. Yeah, love is unconditional. Relationship is not transactional. Parents do the best they can for the child, and then they set the child free. In narcissistic household, they cling on to their children. They don't let their kids uh, become independent. Yeah, they cripple their kids emotionally. Yeah, and that's how they program their kids to be their emotional crutches. Yeah, they don't want their kids to be independent. They don't want their kids to embrace their authentic self. They don't want their kids to enjoy life. They don't want their kids to learn from their mistakes. They don't want their kids to grow up to be a healthy individual. They want their kids to be 100% dependent on them. Yeah, and not become independent, because if the kids become independent, they might run away, they might outgrow, they might not buy the BS that the narcissistic parent is throwing at them. Yeah, so they start crippling the child from an early age, from childhood. They gaslight the child, they emotionally blackmail the child, they emotionally manipulate the child, they triangulate things, they do all sorts of nasty things. Yeah, and the entire goal is to keep the child on hook. Yeah, a loyal, dedicated, devoted servant with the same genetic makeup. Yeah, so this is pretty much how things are in narcissistic households. Everything is transactional. If they see that you're doing things their way, or if you are giving them the supply they want out of you, they will do the bare minimum, and they will exaggerate that others kids don't get so much of privilege, the kind of privilege that you are getting. They are going to do the bare minimum. They are going to project that bare minimum as the greatest thing they are doing for you. Yeah, And that's how they instill this feeling of being indebted. My mother did a lot, my father did a lot, whereas in they are just doing the basic, that is expected out of every parent. They decided to bring you in this world, so they have their duties. Yeah, they need to do things for you. Yeah, you don't owe anything to them, but they owe you. Yeah, so things are pretty one way. Conversations are all monological. It's always their way. They fail to see your emotional needs and requirement. It's all about them. Yeah, and in the process they keep invalidating you, they keep minimizing your experience, emotion and feeling, and as a result of which your self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, all of it gets eroded, and you grow up to be a broken individual. Yeah, and that's the entire idea, yeah, behind doing all of those things. They don't want you to grow up to be a healthy individual. They want to stunt your growth, they want to emotionally cripple you. Yeah, and all of it is basically to keep you on hook, so that you suffer in silence, you keep your mouth shut, you don't call out their bad behavior, you don't question them, and you just keep doing their bidding, and that's it, and that's how things are. So narcissistic parents are not fit to be parents. I mean, according to me, narcissistic individuals are not fit to be parents, spouse, friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, partner. They are not fit to be in any of these roles. Yeah, they are built differently. Yeah, as healthy individuals we crave healthy stuff from the other person, the other party. But it's pretty one way. If you get into a relationship with narcissistic individuals, if you are raised by narcissistic parents, it's pretty one way, and that is something that chokes you, that is something that suffocates you, that is something that stunts your growth. Yeah, and you're crippled for life. You have to keep on unlearning things, you have to keep on you know uh, working on yourself. You have to do a lot of work. Yeah, by just going no contact is not enough. Let me tell you honestly, I also went no contact with my family, and it was not enough. Yeah, I mean, you have to do a lot of work on yourself. The healing is painful. It's not easy that I just went no contact, I changed my number, my mail id, my residential address, and everything is fine, I'm starting fresh. No, they damage you, and they cripple you to such an extent that even if you go no contact, still the patterns are there. Yeah, still the triggers are there. Yeah, all of those buttons are installed by them. Yeah, so you keep functioning like your former self, even though you have gone no contact, you have left them, you have changed the city, you have changed the location. Still you keep reacting and behaving the way how you used to do when you were with them. So you have to observe yourself, you have to unlearn things, you have to relearn, reparent your own self, and that's the only way forward. Yeah, so just going no contact is not the solution. There is a lot of work that needs to be done if you really want to grow, evolve, heal. A lot of work is there. It's not easy, it's really painful. And I mean, me going no contact, it's been over a you can say 15, 18 years, I believe. Still I sometimes get stuck in the spiral. Still sometimes I don't know why, but all of a sudden I feel guilty, yeah, for going no contact with my narcissistic family. Yeah, but then that's the emotional mind reminding me that this was not needed, and what you did was not right. But when I see things through my rational mind, then I see that the only reason why I went no contact was because I wanted to protect and preserve myself. Otherwise, I would have, ended my own life. Yeah, it would have been, very painful for me if I would have stayed with them. Yeah, and with time, I mean, I would have done something which would have, put a full stop, to my life. So, for the sake of me, for the sake of my well-being, I had to go no contact. But yes, sometimes, you get those waves of negative emotions, and you get a little absorbed in it. Yeah, and it does haunt you. But now when I am away, now when I have worked a lot on myself, you know, the inner child inside me, you know, comes out and then counsels me. You know, the inner child in me, you know, takes up the role of my therapist, yeah, and then, you know, counsels me and helps me, you know, overcome, you know, my emotional ups and downs. Yeah, earlier it was me healing the inner child. Now my inner child is healed and intelligent enough to, you know, guide me, yeah, and help me navigate. Now, coming to the different reasons why narcissistic parents are nothing more than, you know, emotional dead weights to their children's well-being. The first reason is, you know, because of emotional drain. So narcissistic parents, you know, suffocate their children's emotional growth, draining them with constant, you know, manipulation and emotional blackmail. Yeah, they are going to keep guilt tripping you, they are going to keep, you know, emotionally manipulating you, and all of it is really emotionally draining. Yeah, it stunts your growth, you feel suffocated, you don't feel right. Yeah, life as it is, you know, like walking on eggshells when you are raised in a narcissistic household. Plus all of this, you know, emotional drain, manipulation, blackmail, it further, you know, stunts your emotional growth. Yeah, all the time you are worried, all the time you are emotionally monitoring your parents, all the time you are, you know, wondering how they are going to react, or what will, you know, their next move be. Yeah, so you are in that kind of a mode because of their unpredictable behavior and nature, and, you know, the kind of atmosphere that is there in the house, in the family. You know, it becomes difficult for you to remain calm. All the time you are, you know, treading with, you know, 100% alertness. You are, you know, observing anything and everything. You are monitoring anything and everything. Before saying something, you are thinking 10,000 times. Yeah, because, you know, if it, you know, hurts the narcissistic parent, they are going to do a number on you. They are going to make your life, you know, miserable. So, you know, there is no room, you know, where you can express yourself. Narcissistic parents are, you know, emotionally absent parents. They are not there to emotionally support you when you need them most. Yeah, they might just support you financially, but you know, for your emotional needs, you have to manage, you have to do things your way, you have to find a support system, you need to have good friends around you. Yeah, and that's how, you know, you can somewhat survive. Otherwise, you know, you can just expect them to support you with the bare minimum financial support till the time, you know, you are doing their bidding. And, you know, the moment they see you're not doing things their way, they will withdraw that support as well. Yeah, so all of it is very conditional and transactional. So, you know, there is no room for emotional growth, there is no room for emotional regulation, there is no room for you to develop that emotional intelligence. Yeah, because, you know, it's all, you know, manipulation and blackmail. You know, every time they are, you know, giving you subtle payback reminders, every time they're guilt tripping you, narrating, you know, their version of, you know, history and different stories. I suffered this, I suffered that just because of you. You don't care about me, our family name, image, and honor, blah blah. Yeah, so, you know, emotional drain is, you know, one of the reasons, you know, that makes these narcissistic parents, you know, somewhat like an emotional dead weights. Yeah, they don't let you grow, heal, or evolve. They just keep pulling you down, down and down, and, you know, uh, with time you are destroyed. Yeah, might be, you know, you are somewhat stable financially, but emotionally you are destroyed. Emotionally you are choked. Emotionally you are stunted. I mean, they do more damage than good. Yeah, their good is maybe 1 or 2%, 3% maximum, but the damage is 97% if you are raised by narcissistic parents and if you are still with them. The other reason why narcissistic parents are nothing more than dead weights for their children's well-being is, you know, because of this sabotaging independence. Narcissistic parents are big time into sabotaging their kids' independence. They sabotage their child's well-being by instilling self-doubt. Yeah, keeping them dependent and fearful of making their own choices. Yeah, So, they are never going to validate you, they are never going to appreciate what you do. And all of it is basically to cripple you so that you are dependent on them. So, if you do things your way, they are going to invalidate you, minimize you, criticize you, and gaslight you and tell you, well, this is not how it's done. Uh, the only way to do this and this is, the way how I'm telling you to do. Otherwise, there is no other way. Yeah, you will mess up. Yeah, if you ever try and do things your way, and if you make some mistake or if you fail, then they are going to vehemently criticize you, shame you, guilt trip you, and then you stop trying. You just are so codependent, you stop trying and you simply give up trying. You are like, let me do what she's saying. Yeah, if I do it my way, and if god forbid if I make some mistake or if I fail, she's going to make my life hell. So let me just do what she's saying, let me just do what my father is saying. Yeah, and let me have some peace and let me have some stable moment, yeah, in the house, in the family. Yeah, so narcissistic parents are smart in trimming your wings. Yeah, and they do this by constantly gaslighting you, they do this by constantly confusing you. Yeah, and this is what gaslighting does, it confuses you. You doubt your own self, you doubt your own feeling, you doubt your own abilities, and you doubt the others as well. And as a result of which, you keep running back to your narcissistic parent. Yeah, to seek their validation, approval, suggestion, and input. Yeah, even though they are worthless, they are not equipped, they are simply manipulating you and using you to, serve them. But, that's how they program you. Yeah, they cripple you. The other reason why narcissistic parents are nothing more than emotional deadweights to their children's well being is because narcissistic parents are just like emotional black hole. Yeah, narcissistic parents are emotional black holes, and they keep sucking the joy and self-worth out of their children. Yeah, leaving them feeling empty, weak, vulnerable, and not good enough. Yeah, so narcissistic parents don't enrich you emotionally. Yeah, they don't strengthen you emotionally, instead they drain you. Yeah, they will tell you, well, you're not good enough, look at their son, look at their daughter. Yeah, and they will keep sucking out every joy and every bit of self-worth out of you. Yeah, they are going to keep on criticizing you, they are going to keep on minimizing and invalidating if you do things your way. And all of it is basically to crush you. Yeah, crush you and suck all the goodness out of you. They don't want you to be a healthy individual. They want you to believe that there is something wrong with you. They want you to firmly believe that I'm not good enough and I need to do things, how my narcissistic mother is telling me to do. I need to do things, the way how my narcissistic father is telling me to do. Yeah, because I'm not good enough and I might mess things up. So let me just do things their way. Let me not use my brain. Let me not use my mind. Let me just simply follow the instructions. Yeah, they, in a way, uh, stunt you. They stunt you to such an extent that you stop using your mind. Yeah, you just become a zombie. Yeah, who's following instructions and doing things, yeah, whatever they are programmed for. That's it. Apart from that, you're not allowed to think, you're not allowed to express, you're not allowed to feel and experience good as well. Yeah, if they see you happy, then they are going to tell you, why are you wasting time and money? I mean, you should go out and do better things. Why are you wasting time in playing games? Why are you wasting time in reading books? Go and do this, go and do that, go help your mother, go help your father. So they don't let you be happy. They cannot stand you being happy without them. Yeah, happiness is just for them. And if they feel like if you please them, then they might throw some crumbs and you need to derive happiness out of that crumb. But apart from that, you are not supposed to be happy all by yourself. Yeah, So, narcissistic parents are like that, emotional black hole. They keep sucking, in all of your goodness, joy, happiness. And, in the end, you are just, empty. And, you have this feeling on the inside that I'm worthless, I'm not good enough. The other reason why narcissistic parents are nothing more than emotional deadweights to their children's well-being is, because of this toxic dependence. Yeah. So narcissistic parents, make their children believe that, love comes with strings attached. Yeah. Turning affection into a tool of control rather than genuine support. Yeah. So narcissistic parents are going to train you that my love is not unconditional and free. You have to earn it. You have to prove yourself that you're worthy, and then you are going to get my love. Otherwise, I'm going to withhold all that love and affection. I'm not, going to give you my attention, affection, anything. Yeah. So they train you. Yeah. And that's how they keep you dependent. That's how they distort the meaning of love. Yeah. You tend to believe that, love is all about having strings attached. Yeah. Love is conditional. Love means that I need to prove myself, and then only as a reward I'll get someone's love. Yeah. um, Love is not unconditional. Love is conditional. Till the time I am of some worth and use, I will be loved. But if I'm not of some use and worth, I won't be loved. Yeah. And that's how, we view things. Yeah. Because it's distorted since childhood. We are trained and programmed, to see love as a transaction, to see love as a conditional, setup. And that's the way how we view things. We, look out for love, but we don't see the love in a healthy way, because we have been conditioned to believe that love comes with strings attached. Love means you need to earn. Yeah. And the same way we treat others, and we keep attracting toxic dysfunctional individuals. Yeah. Because we have a distorted sense of self, we have distorted understanding about love. Yeah. Because healthy stuff was never modeled in front of us. Yeah. Because it was all toxic and narcissistic. Yeah. It was all to serve the needs and wants and requirement of the narcissistic parent, and that's pretty much how things were in the narcissistic family, narcissistic household. So yes, you know uh, narcissistic parents create this toxic dependence. Yeah. And they do this by turning affection into a tool of control. Yeah. And not a tool of genuine support. Yeah. I mean, when we are in love, we help each other heal, grow, we support each other, we encourage each other, we motivate each other. But in a narcissistic household, the definition of love is very different. Yeah. The definition of love is that I need to prove myself, and only then I'll be loved. If I am not able to do things their way, are not worthy of love. Yeah. So everything is so distorted, that we tend to keep suffering, even after the narcissistic parent is long gone. Yeah. Or dead. Yeah. We keep suffering because we were taught the wrong lesson, and because of which we fail in our other relationship. Yeah. The other reason why narcissistic parents are nothing more than emotional deadweights to their children's well-being is because they stunt their children's growth. Yeah. Instead of nurturing their children's emotional development, narcissistic parents stunt their growth. Yeah. Keeping them emotionally trapped in their childhood. Yeah. They don't let their kids grow, heal, evolve. Yeah. Emotionally regulate themselves. They don't emotionally support their children. They don't teach their children healthy ways to soothe themselves. They don't you know uh, uh, create a safe space for their children, where their children can be their vulnerable self, and embrace their authentic side, and become a healthy individual. They don't let you develop emotional intelligence. They don't let you, grow up to be a healthy individual. And all of it is basically to keep you crippled and keep you dependent on them. Yeah. So narcissistic parents don't nurture their children. They do the bare minimum, maybe get you to school, feed you, get you medical support, give you shelter, get you books, pay for your tuition, and that's it. They are not emotionally present. Yeah. And it's very essential for children, to have, parents who are emotionally present, to support them, to nurture them, to, guide them, yeah, to motivate them, to encourage them. Kids need emotional support as well. Yeah, it's not always about money, shelter, food, clothes. No, there is a lot more, that needs to be done. When you are, getting into a relationship and starting a family, it's not just money. Yeah, you need to be emotionally available. You need to be, there to nurture your kid emotionally. By just paying for the school fee, doing the bare minimum, and constantly guilt tripping, you are doing no good. Instead, you are damaging your child. Yeah? But do these narcissistic parents care? The answer is no. They personally, think and believe that the bare minimum that they are doing is, a lot. Yeah, that they are doing for their children. Yeah, and then they are going to, compare themselves with underprivileged parents, and they are going to say, well, they are not able to provide 3 meals to their children, but I am doing, all of this, for you. Yeah, so narcissistic parents have, their own irrelevant ways of, comparing, guilt tripping you, and all of it is basically to cripple you, stunt your growth, so that you're dependent on them. They don't want you to grow up, into a healthy individual. They want you to grow up to be an emotionally crippled individual. Yeah, an emotionally crippled adult. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they want you, forever, hooked onto them. They want you forever, in service of them. And the last reason why narcissistic parents are nothing more than emotional deadweights to their children's well-being is because of psychological burden. Yeah, so narcissistic parents burden their children with their own unresolved, issues and insecurities. And this makes the child, feel responsible for the parent's emotional void. Yeah, the child is trained to prioritize the parent. The child is trained to betray himself or herself. The child is trained to ignore his needs, wants, and desire, or her wants, needs, and desire, and keep prioritizing the parent. Yeah? And this is a kind of a psychological burden that these kids are suffering with, yeah, because of their narcissistic parents. Yeah, so narcissistic parents will, burden their children with unrealistic expectations, their unresolved issues and insecurities. Well, I didn't go here, I didn't do this, I don't know whether at all I'll be experiencing this and that. Yeah, emotionally blackmailing, manipulating the child. And all of it happens, since the childhood. And the kid, grows up to be, uh, this rescuer. Yeah, the kid takes up the role of their parents, rescuer. I'm going to do this for you, I'm going to do that for you, mom don't worry, dad don't worry. I mean, let the child grow. Let the child, uh, I personally feel, in healthy families, parents don't burden their children with their insecurities, with their unresolved issues. They let their kids grow. And when the kid is adult, then I have seen, healthy parents sharing their, challenges and hardships that they had with their children. But in a narcissistic household, if the kid is this small, the mother is going to start, parentifying the child. The mother is going to start, telling the child all sorts of, um, made up, history. Yeah, that your father is bad, your granny was bad, your auntie was bad, I suffered a lot. She starts parentifying the son, she starts parentifying the daughter, the father starts parentifying the child. You have got no idea how much I have suffered, until now I have to work and do this and that. And you are just sitting in the house and you are just behaving like a baby. Look at others child, they are helping their parent, and you are just sitting in the house and playing games. Yeah, you are 10-year-old, look at the other 10-year-olds out there, they are helping their father do this and that. So they won't let you you know uh, grow in a healthy manner. They start parentifying you, they start blackmailing you, they start abusing you emotionally and psychologically. Yeah, and that's how they train you to be a loyal slave who's ready to sacrifice anything and everything, just for the sake of tiny bits of crumbs. Yeah, we were ready to shape shift into any, form, or into anything that our narcissistic parent, wanted us to, shape shift into. Yeah, and all of it was in hopes of getting some crumbs. Yeah, and those crumbs were not, genuine love. Those crumbs were just to keep us on hook, and to get us to do their bidding. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so these are some of the reasons why narcissistic parents are not parents, but they are just emotional dead weights to their children's well-being. Yeah, and they damage their kids beyond repair. Lucky are those who have gone no contact, or who have started using boundary, who have worked on themselves, who have become financially independent, and are living all by themselves, creating space and boundary in between. Lucky are those individuals, and I really feel sorry for those who are still stuck with their narcissistic parents. I mean, reason can be anything, but I feel sorry for those individuals. And in most of the cases, it's the finances. Everything is so intertwined in such a complicated way that there is a lot of collateral damage if the kid leaves the parent. Yeah, so the kids are stuck with those narcissistic parents, and the kids keep suffering. They don't have a good friend circle, they don't have a good married life, they don't have a good family life. Yeah, because the narcissistic parent you know knows what buttons to press. Yeah, even though you have grown up, you have become an adult, you are married, you have your own children, wife, husband, whatever, but still they know the buttons to press and get a reaction out of you. Yeah, so that's how damaging narcissistic parents are. In no ways they are good. They brought you in this world solely to serve themselves, and that's it. Yeah, they did not bring you in this world to have a life of your own. They did not bring you in this world so that you can enjoy your life on your own terms and conditions. No. Yeah, so yes, this was it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below. Till then, take care of yourself. Lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.